Hey everyone, welcome to the next round of the LoA Endurance series. My name is Josh. I'll be doing your commentary tonight, and I've got Phil with me. Say hello, Phil.
Hello, everyone.
Today we are at Monza, and we're going to start off with the championship standings before this round. So we've got Lucas Cipula leading the way on 84 points, followed closely by Joshua Martinez and Marin Hugoven. Good three-way battle up there in the front, and Ollie Ettridge not far off either in fourth place, and Alex Murphy finishing out the top five. Then we've got Carl Hudson, Clayton McBuller, Stephen Hurd, Rude School, Zachary Liebold, Rob Miller, Timon Slutz, Danny Chan, Matt Hansel. Matt off to not too great of a start this season, but I think he's changed cars soon, and he's gonna catch fire coming up. And then we've got Stephen Maxwell, Charles Vasquez, and the rest I didn't catch there, but hopefully you read it.
All right, in the Silver Championship, we got Carl Hudson leading with 51 points, Timon Slutz following with 34 points, Danny Chan with 30, Mark Kelly with 21, and Philip Fox with 18. 6 through 10, we have Daniel Bond, Jauntame, Russell J. Bright, Mark Brown, and Isaac Mitchell.
The Silver Championship's been pretty competitive.
And for the bronze, we have Sam Stott leading with 33 points, Steve Pepper tied with 33 points, Peter McIntyre with 28, Rich Meesters with 26, and number 5, Neil Todd, 20 points.
I like a good tied championship, man. That's always fun.
Yeah, we'll have to see how this one goes, see if there's any change in this by the end of this race.
You never know with these conditions that we're looking at. I'm seeing a lot of spray coming off the cars down below. It doesn't look wet, but obviously it is. This image here looks quite just normal, but we all know that it's wet. And there's our forecast there, 66% humidity, overcast, 21 degrees Celsius. There's our rain.
Yeah, Monza's typically a good racing track. Usually rough starts. You know, you get through the first couple turns, you make it through turn one, and it's some good close racing. This rain's going to make it interesting.
Maxwell, it looks like you're on dry tires.
Yeah, turn one's going to be the main concertina that everybody's going to pack into turn one. If you can get through clean, you're already setting yourself up for a successful race. That's your first challenge. I enjoy Monza. I don't know if you personally like it. I personally enjoy it. It's not my favorite hot lapping track, but it's such a good racing circuit.
I think it's a great hot lapping track as well. It is probably in my top 5 favorite tracks. I love any track that's fast, flowy, hard braking zones, and full throttle the rest of the time.
Point on the table. What a clown.
Awesome. Well, here's our starting grid. Lucas Cipula in a Porsche in the front. Not surprised to see a Porsche up front. Porsches typically do really well in the rain. We had Joshua Martinez on the second row, or on the first row with them, and then Ollie Ettridge. I missed who was in fourth. Here we keep going into 7th and 8th. Charles Vasquez, Isaac Mitchell, Alex Murphy, and Rob Miller.
Then 11th, we got David Ward. 12th, Sam Stott, followed by Rick Barrow and Clayton McBuller. Stephen Hurd and Stephen Maxwell. Matt Kunzel and Timon Slutz finishing up the top 18. Then Carl Hudson in 19th and Mark Kelly in 20th.
Then James Renwick, John Cook, Rich Meesters, Lee Harding, Simon Clifton, Peter McIntyre, Neil Todd, Chris Wright, Philip Fox, James Pepper, Zach Liebold, Matt Pierce, Chris Forrester, Steve Pepper, and Patrick Runge finishing out our 35-car grid. That's a great turnout. The GT3 field for LoA this season has been definitely over 30 cars every round that I've raced in with them, and that's awesome. I love having more cars on the grid. The competition's been great. Qualifying especially has been really close almost every round.
Absolutely, and I don't know if you noticed, but the two battling for the bronze championship are right in the same spot in that grid, so an interesting start for them.
Oh, great. The one's tied we're talking about. Yep, that's awesome. Yeah, like I said, a Porsche on the front row. We got Ollie Ettridge in a Porsche right behind him. Those cars always do well in the wets. They just the characteristics of that car, the rear engine, the weight over the rear tires, I think helps a lot with the rain. And it looks like a Porsche in 4th place as well, so not surprising there.
No, not at all. The Porsche's fantastic in the rain.
All right, we should be going green any second now. I imagine they're putting their foot down on the loud pedal, and here we come to start the first lap. This is going to be treacherous. Already display is just filling our screen here. Let's see what kind of carnage, or if everybody can make it through clean. Oh, we've got is that a Ferrari there having a little wiggle, or a McLaren? Couldn't tell who that was. Blake Tovey, I believe. So far, so good. As we swatch with those Lando come through, one car off, but not damaged. I think everybody made it through turn 1 clean. I think that was probably the cleanest Monza turn 1 I've ever witnessed in my sim racing career. Oh, there.
Might be. You know, turn 1 is always sketchy here, but I think people need to remember that that pit line is going to be very dangerous in the rain, and I think we might see more accidents coming up to turn 1 than in turn 1.
Yeah, fair enough. Catching any of the white paint anywhere on corner exit, corner entry, and especially like you've mentioned in the braking zone though. Yeah, we got a good little line of cars forming here. Everybody trying to keep it together, trying to keep it on track. So we're watching Alex Murphy at the moment in the Acura with the purple wheels. Thank you, Alex, for differentiating your car in the Wizards livery so that we know who is who when we see that same livery on each car. I notice some of the guys in the Revolution e-racing team, as we see Marin, who's going around somehow. I wonder if he had help or if he did that on his own. But as I was saying, some of the guys in Revolution e-racing also changing the color of their wheels or their mirrors to help differentiate with the running of the same livery.
Look at that view. Can't see a thing. I don't know how everybody's gonna survive this one.
I mean, absolutely no visibility. It's hard for me. I can't even tell what car that is, you know. One of the Wizards. That was Alex again. But yeah, I mean, it's just a dark shadow in the cloud of water spray. As everybody safely gets through turn 1 again.
Guys off. He made it onto the plastic right there.
I think we're going to see probably quite a few people going off, but the trick is going to be, can they manage to keep it out of the wall? Can they just have a excursion through the gravel or through the grass and then get back on track and get going again, right? If you can keep it out of the wall, that's really the best you can ask for in these conditions.
Absolutely. This is definitely a race of survival.
See a battle here with Stephen Hurd looking up the inside of Marin there. Couldn't quite get it done. Really close under the brakes there. Out front, we still have Lucas leading the way, but we have had a change for second place. Ollie Ettridge has managed to get around Martinez. And then we've got Claymore and Blake rounding out your top 5 with Isaac Mitchell as your silver class leader and Sam Stott as your bronze leader. And there was a car off there. Again, taking that excursion through the grass, but it looked like he kept it out of the wall, which is important.
Did look like we lost someone in the Lesmos, and it would have been nice to get an angle on that. I do not think they still are.
Might have been Neil Todd. Looks like Neil Todd is out of the race. Looks like Zach didn't even take the start. It's not showing any times or any distance driven for him on our leaderboard here. So I think Zach didn't take the start. Maybe that was Neil Todd or Stephen Maxwell that you saw. Stephen Maxwell in the pits and 1 lap down.
Looks like
I love watching these cars wiggle as they come in the brake. Sorry to interrupt you there, but I just saw 3 cars all with the tail wagon coming down into the braking zone.
Yeah, it looks like that car that lost it got the painted line there, pit line, and just got sent into the wall.
That's how you do it. Rick Barrow here, the car up the inside, looks like David Ward, I believe. And looks like Charles Vasquez right behind him. Nice to see a Lambo on track. Not many of them. I think there's maybe 2 in the league. Good to have all the cars represented here.
You know, I don't know why you don't see a lot of Lambos. It's not a bad car.
I raced it recently and enjoyed it thoroughly. And you know me, I'm an Audi guy through and through. I pretty much race it exclusively. But yeah, took the Lambo out for a trip and really enjoyed it. Looks like Rick is doing well. He's in 11th position. Definitely the leading Lambo, you can say that.
I would say anyone still on the track right now is doing well in these conditions.
Fair enough. Getting the power down right here through Parabolica. Really tricky. Car wants to go out, to the left, to the outside of that corner. But as you mentioned, that white line out there, you've got to keep it just inside that white line. During practice for this race, I touched that white line every single time I do it. Just send me right around. Oh, we've got an accident. And another car off in the background here. That is Charles into the back of Rick. And is that Carl Hudson?
And I couldn't see anything.
Looked like Carl Hudson that went off into the wall on the left side of the track, right from our view. But it looks like he's got going again. Stephen Hurd taking a nice outside sweeping line, trying to stay off of some of the rubber. There's probably a bit of extra grip out there, actually. Braking right in the middle of the track. It's a good wet line, looks like. And as I say that, he's outbraked himself and missed the corner.
And is that a contact on the re-entry?
Didn't see that. I saw a couple of other guys also off in the same corner.
It looked like one got turned around and spun it back around to get going right. And I couldn't tell, but it looked like contact with someone else coming through the corner.
Yeah, that'll be an unsafe rejoin for sure if that's the case. On board with Rob Miller here. Little wheel spin, you can hear it. He's in the right car for these conditions, though. Maybe Rob Miller can move forward. He's got actually our silver and bronze class leaders in front of him, Isaac and Sam. Those guys doing great. 6th place and 7th place for those class leaders there.
15 incident limit was a bit optimistic.
Absolutely.
One of the drivers saying incident limit was optimistic. Possibly so in these conditions. Maybe not in the dry.
Yeah, I think I'd have to agree. It's a little tight.
15 X's we're getting in this series before a drive-through penalty. Alex Murphy and Stephen Hurd side by side going into the braking zone. Who's going to win out on this one? Looked like Stephen was slightly ahead. Looks like he does hold that position according to the leaderboard.
Yeah, Lucas
here.
Lucas in first place is building a nice gap already.
Yeah, 2.2 seconds just out there doing his laps. Well, he's got a big advantage, and that is visibility, right? He can see where he's driving. I mean, look at the windscreen here for this guy, for who we want, Clayton here. Nothing, and that's only with one car in front of him. Lucas out front, able to just concentrate on his marks and get his laps in, and it's obviously working out for him. 2.2 second gap over Ali Ettridge.
You got to wonder how many people are prepared for this type of race. You know, it's one thing to have some wet practice and to know what to do in the rain, but I have not personally seen many races with this much water on the track.
Yeah, I can say personally, I practiced in some much lighter rain conditions. I was not prepared for this amount of rain on this track for this race. So it did throw me for a loop, and I know it threw a few of the other guys for a loop. Marin up to 12th after that early off that we saw. Doesn't look like he's taking any damage or anything, so I think he got away with a fairly minor off-track excursion there. So you see David taking a little bit of a swerve there, I'm sure, to just find some space on track, maybe even looking just for some visibility, you know, moving over to the right, looking for just to see your markers, and then moving back in line to get on the brakes.
Yeah, you just have to be careful doing that. You never know if there's a puddle just hiding right there for you to hit.
See you in the next one.
Yeah, you got to do it definitely on a straightaway, definitely whenever you're moving forward. You've got, as we see Clayton go off there, get back on track safely, yes. Able to keep his position over David. And as I was saying, you do it in a very controlled manner. Don't do it going into the brakes. Don't do it in your main acceleration zone, because you'll find that, like you said, that standing water, get some wheel spin or lose it under brakes. But if you're, you know, this part of the straightaway, you can kind of look left, you can look right. You don't have to worry too much about it. We've got a llama battle here with a Revolution E-Racing driver right behind them, Charles Vasquez. Looking to get around David and then chase after Clayton. You can see a little bit of a, I don't want to say dry spot because it's still, Clayton just clobbered the back of, was that Sam Stott?
I believe it was Sam.
I believe it was Sam. Clayton, I think we're going to have to report you to the stewards on that one. And as I was saying, I was seeing a little bit of a zone in the middle of the track there where you can tell that's where all of the drivers are funneling through. Nobody wanting to be too far to one edge or the other. Everybody just sort of center tracking this one.
It's interesting to see the approaches into turn one. I see some guys staying far away from that painted line and others straddling it.
Yeah, I noticed that as well. Alex Murphy there going in to the left of that painted line, while like you said, other drivers straddling right over the center of it. See how some of these other guys approach. James Pepper all the way on the inside, then coming over. Flirting with that white line, though. So there he is, straddling that line, going into turn 1.
I think it is the faster line, but it is a little sketchy when you make that crossover.
Yeah, up front looks like Ettridge has closed the gap just a little bit, maybe about a second or so on Cipula up front. Maybe Ettridge moving forward a little bit. Maybe Cipula catching some lap traffic and getting slowed down. We'll see what happens. We still got plenty of racing left. As we watch John Cook and Matt Kunzel have a little battle here. This is just inside your top 10. Marin Hugoven in 9th. John holding on to that final top 10 spot. And Matt Kunzel on the outside looking in. Cool livery on that Formulama Acura.
Oh, great. It's me. I hope we don't watch me too much. I know was not my best race.
Sorry, Charles. Lost on the white line.
We've got an apology.
No, I get it, man.
Oh, we got some damage there on David Ward after he's given an apology to Charles.
I feel really bad for that one. It literally just touched the white line and it just went.
I don't know if you could hear that.
Yeah, we shouldn't be racing with these conditions.
And there it is. Drivers complaining about the conditions. David saying he lost it on the white line, and Charles saying, yeah, maybe we shouldn't be racing in these conditions. Maybe race control should have red flagged this one.
You know, probably. Then we wouldn't have the excitement that is this race.
Yeah. You and I wouldn't be sitting here right now doing this commentary.
No, we wouldn't, and I will say it's a tough race, tough conditions. I didn't have the best run, but I did learn a lot from this because I personally do not have a lot of wet experience. So it was good to get out in the rain, in some really tough rain, and get some laps in.
Yeah, I think anybody who was out there was learning for sure, myself included. As we see that gap up front has continued to come down another couple of tenths to where we're actually seeing both cars in view here on track. Ettridge chasing down Cipula, going into turn 1. Similar approach. Stephen Hurd, Sam Stott already lapped, so we're already lapping up to 23rd and 22nd place. Just these conditions have just spread the field out. If you look at the track map there's just cars everywhere on track.
Yeah, it's the opposite what you would expect from a Monza race. Going into this, not knowing the weather conditions, I would assume this would be a very tight race. A lot of drafting, hard to pass. Would have been interesting to see how this would have played out in the dry.
Yeah, I agree. Also was expecting bundles of cars instead of this spread out field. Maybe even some cooperation, just, hey, let's get in line. Oh, Carl Hudson losing it, nearly collecting the car in front. Not able to keep it out of the wall, though. That's probably going to require some repairs for him. Carl, I believe, is our silver championship leader, so that could shake up the championship there with Isaac Mitchell up in 6th and Carl having issues in the first 9 laps of this race.
Absolutely. Carl's struggling a little bit in the rain, but this season he's been very consistent, doing much better than last season. So good for Carl.
Yes, he's had a much better start to this season than last season. I've talked to him. He's been really happy about that. The team's been supportive and helping him get consistent, and it shows. Ali losing a little bit there, so that gap is coming and going with the two up front. Martinez just sort of falling off. He's approaching a 6-second gap here. Don't think he's gonna have much for these guys in this race, just surviving. Coming down, straddling that white line. Really close up front now, 7/10. Be awesome to have a nice battle for the lead. That would be highly entertaining.
Yeah, let's see a couple passes. See the lead change a few times. How does the Audi drive in the rain?
You know, I don't have too much trouble with it. Obviously not super quick, but it's never really felt like it was trying to kill me. I don't have any more difficulty than any other car. I hear a lot of people say how bad it is in the rain, but for me, it's just...
Well, you buy on the straight.
It's the same, it's just wet, you know? I don't really know how to explain it.
I'm going to go off.
Oh, Phil, I think you went off.
I did. I think I missed a brake marker there, trying not to get in the way of the lead. I did not want to mess up their battle.
Hey, at least you were you did not ignore the blue flags. That was nice of you. Oh, Chris Forrester nearly wiping out the car on his left into the wall instead. That was almost a very scary moment. And Sam Stott off as well. Is he going to collect anybody? Oh, he does. He collects one of the Formulama cars. Couldn't tell who that was.
Seems to be
Mark Kelly.
Mark Kelly, yes.
Mark Kelly.
Unfortunate.
Yep, unlucky for Mark there. Nothing really he could have done. Just he was going through the corner. Sam lost it and hydroplaned through the grass, and that was that.
Yeah, nothing to be done on either side. It is just tough. You can't avoid that. You can't stop yourself from hitting anyone. Doesn't matter if you hold your brakes.
No, you're a passenger. Even though you're the driver, you're the passenger in that moment. You're just along for the ride. And another Lambo out on track with Chris Forrester following Clayton. Clayton had a off earlier in the race we saw, but he's still holding down 12th place, so not too much of an effect on his race so far. With Sam having that off, that promotes Rich Meesters to your leader of the bronze class. Oh, Phil, we've got movement up front. Just looking at the leaderboard, Martinez has passed Ettridge. We didn't see it. I'm not sure. I don't remember how it happened. I believe Ali had an off at turn 1, and I just came through. But yeah, I don't think it was anything exciting. I think it was just a mistake, and then the Audi just scampered through.
There I go again, letting another car go through. It's very sad.
Very gentlemanly, though.
You know, I try. You know, I don't want to lose too much time, but in this rain, I was definitely not trying to be in anyone's way. You know, you got to get out of the way. You got to let the guys up front race, but also, well, you don't have to make it 100% easy normally.
Yeah, Chris Forrester not quite getting turned there for turn 1. I guess maybe technically turn 2. I don't know how they count those here at Monza. The first chicane. Now entering, we're going through Curva Grande, headed down to the second chicane. This braking zone right here, going into this chicane, was a nightmare for me the entire race. And just an absolute nightmare. It felt like no matter what I did, I tried braking earlier and earlier and earlier. I tried braking softer. You know, I tried easing into the brakes instead of just, you know, mashing them. I tried every technique that I could think of, and it felt like no matter what I did, the car just would not slow down. It just wouldn't.
Yeah, I think that was the toughest part for everyone. Just remembering the people I saw, people in front of me, people behind me were sliding into that off there, and I don't know. Maybe it was just the amount of puddling leading up to that area. It seemed to never dry out. It is a tough one, and normally not the toughest spot on the track, but I think it was in the rain.
I think that was James Pepper that I saw have a little moment, but he saved it there. That was good driving from James. So that gap up front, almost 6 seconds, but that's what it was several laps ago between Martinez and Cipula. So maybe either Cipula realizing he's got a cushion and it's just slowed a little bit, or maybe Martinez, getting into the groove here, or maybe some urgency with Ettridge chasing him down. Not really sure, but that gap seems to have stabilized between those two cars.
Yeah, we see it looks like everyone's breaking up into groups of 2 or 3 and having their small battles right now. The field's still very spread out, but plenty of racing going on.
Moving fun is it, Steve?
Yeah, that gap between 2 and 3 is only a couple of seconds, then only another couple seconds for 4th place, and then we see a bigger gap down to 5th place. So with the top 4 still within striking distance of each other, still within one mistake in these conditions, which is always right around the corner, your next mistake, right? So one of those mistakes coming up, and any of those 4 guys is back in it.
Absolutely, and Isaac Mitchell's still in 6th place, leading the silver. Not too far off 5th place. He's also in striking distance, so it'd be interesting to see if he moves up or not. Then Rich Meester's holding up well, leading the gold in 10th place overall.
On board with Claymore and cannot see anything. There's the spray from Philip Fox ahead. Oh, that's you. Spray from you ahead, and yeah, just can't see anything.
Well, I say
did you see that? Ali has closed the gap massively to the Audi of Martinez. I mean, we were talking a couple seconds earlier. Now we're looking at just a couple of tenths. They're going nose to tail through or entering Ascari chicane. Martinez out on that paint. A little bit of a wiggle. I think Ollie's got the move done here. Yep, there it is. Yep, so something happened there. Big closing of the gap, and then a move made at the exit of the Ascari chicane. See if Martinez can tuck in and get a draft here. As Phil gets a draft. Making a move on Chris Forrester. Nice job, Phil. Look at that.
I got it done.
Nice. Right into Parabolica. Good move. Our cool camel, Steve Pepper, going through one of the chicanes there.
Philip, can you lift and let me pass? Because I can't see shit behind you, and I can't lose a lot of time with them.
Claymore asking for some blue flag enforcement there or something.
Yeah, I believe he's asking me to lift so he can get by because he can't see in the rain. But
well, I don't think you need to let him through now. Looks like he's lost it possibly on that paint stripe, and he's going around.
Yeah, this rain makes blue flag decisions a little tough. You know, I just made a pass there, and you know, I'm not looking to lift to lose a second to let him get by, but I understand why he would not want to be in my spray, and he's clearly faster. It's just tough. I feel bad that he went off there, but I think I have to stick in there and race.
Yeah, I hear you on that one. as we see, Blake Tovey has gotten around me. It didn't show on our cameras here, but I had done a full 360 spin because I got caught out on that exact white line that we've been talking about since the beginning of this race. Did a full 360, kept it out of the wall, and got going, but Blake got around me on that one. But back to what you're saying with the blue flags and the spray, it's a really tricky situation for both cars because as the lapped car, you don't have to get out of their way if they're not close enough. And the problem with these conditions is it makes it really tough to be close enough, right? Like, you don't have to sacrifice a second and a half, 2 seconds to let them through. Now, if they get up on you, then you do have to sort of facilitate that overtake, right? But this isn't a dry race. This is a wet race with spray, and it was tough to follow even the lapped cars.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's just one of those things. It's not good for either driver. It kind of is what it is, and I hope it works out for everyone, but obviously it's not going to.
Yeah, Claymore not lost too much from that. Still in 7th place after that spin. Isaac Mitchell doing a great job in 6th for the silver, for 6th overall, 1st for the silver class. So here's an example of what we're talking about here. Clayton, blue flag with James Pepper coming through, but Clayton's right there. You know, it's what they say, the great equalizer, rain is, right?
Absolutely. So there, Claymont off again. I think his off might have gotten to him.
Yeah, it can rattle you. One mistake leads to another. Just gotta take a breath, keep it cool. With the 5th, 6th, 7th battle we're looking at here. One of our closest battles we've got in the field. James Pepper in the pits, hopefully just for his pit stop and not for any damage. Didn't see what happened there, just saw his name show up on the pit board.
Yeah, and he's been moving up the field the last few laps. Made quite a few positions.
Shows him in pit exit now, so yeah, seems like that was just his time to pit. Maybe taking a bit of an early pit stop to get out of some traffic or something. It moved Carl Hudson up 1 position there, so we'll see when Carl makes his pit stop where he comes out in respect to James. We've got quite a few cars out of this race already, though. Looking at the standings here, from 27th down, Rick Barrow, Lee Harding, Chris Wright, Rob Miller, Patrick Roonge, Stephen Maxwell, Matt Pierce, Neil Todd, and as I mentioned earlier, Zach Liebold seemingly not even taking the start. It's a lot of guys having some bad luck in these conditions and just walking away, going doing something else, going enjoying the rest of their Sunday. Clay Moss still out there in 7th place. Nice blue livery on that car. Very clean.
You know, that blue's what I tried to get them to put on our car. I tried very hard to have a clean livery. I actually really do like Claymont's livery.
Yeah, liveries can very easily get messy if you try too much, but so we have a car around there. It looked like Steve Pepper, I believe. Yeah, Steve Pepper falling down the order here. Didn't see any major impact though. Looked like just a spin, so Steve should get going again.
Oh, we had
McIntyre with a nice pink livery.
And we have a change up front. Blake Tovey has passed Josh Martinez.
Yep, that was believe a couple laps ago. Where on track are these guys? Yeah, third and fourth, Blake and myself, starting to fall off of the two up front. That top four pack not quite as bunched up as it once was.
We got Marin battled from the middle of the field up to 5th place. I don't know if any of that is due to pits or if he is actually in 5th, but good work by him.
Yeah, we saw Marin off early in the race and now up to 5th place, so definitely kept that from getting to his head, and it's just kept a cool race since the incident, and now he's up to 5th. So yeah, good driving from Marin. As we see Etridge coming through some lap traffic and trying to catch up to Lucas Cipula up front. Lucas, I mean, as far as we've seen, no issues, no incidents, no off tracks, no major mistakes. Been a very good drive so far for Lucas. Hopefully he keeps that up and can get victory here.
Yeah, beautiful, consistent run by him. I'm going to have to assume everybody's done a good job of clearing way for him to keep that pace up, so he's getting through traffic nicely. Good job by him, and good job by everyone else staying out of the way and letting those guys up front run their race.
Yeah, I was going to say that advantage we talked about earlier with just a clear track is not really... is a non-existent advantage at this point for Lucas. Just he's got lap traffic every lap, I would imagine, at this point. So he's no longer got that just clear track ahead. He's got to deal with these lap cars. So he's doing well to keep up the pace that he had with clear track, keeping that pace up with a non-clear track. As we see our silver leader come through. On board with Blake Tovey here, getting past a lap car and headed down into turn 1. Right on that white line. That is
dangerous.
Brave. I'll say brave.
Yes.
Man, that made me nervous watching. I was just waiting for something to happen.
You know, as long as you're not making any steering input, I guess you're okay, but that is a dangerous game to play.
Yeah, as we've mentioned, I raced this race. I was right behind him. I know that nothing happened, but it still made me nervous thinking that something was going to happen with the tires on that white line. I noticed James really enjoys that inside coming out of Parabolica, and he just keeps it, as he gets a little wiggly there. But coming out of the exit of Parabolica, keeps it far to the right and just straight shots it down the track, which I guess straight is the fastest route from point A to point B.
Absolutely. You know, I made my pass earlier there on the inside. It's not a line I'm used to running. And I don't believe I used it enough, but it was actually pretty good there, so maybe I should have noticed that and stayed inside there as well.
Yeah, I was exiting Parabolica more on the outside and then just running clean down the center of the straightaway is the line I was choosing. I didn't want to experiment too much with line choice. You know, once I found something that was comfortable, I sort of just repeated it, because trying something new, yeah, you might find a better way. You also might find the wrong way, and you might find the wall. Saw a slow car there.
Hey, Philip.
And Rich Meesters, I believe. Yep, going around yourself. Rich, still the leader of bronze class. He is in 9th place. 9th overall, 1st in bronze. This is a great drive for Rich here. Doing well in these wet conditions. Oh, Stephen Hurd. Big oversteer there. Stays out of the way of Claymall, though. Lets him through. Claymall's fallen down to 10th place. Did not see what happened, but he was up in 7th earlier. I mean, where do you brake when you're looking at that? When you're looking at spray, where do you apply the brakes?
Honestly, I think a about a half a second before you see the brake lights of the guy in front of you.
I mean, that was my toughest issue, other than, like I said, going into turn to the second chicane, but just finding the visibility to see when to start slowing down.
Yeah, I believe by this point in the race, I'd moved up several times and lost control or other incidents that dropped me back down. And, I think I was running up, losing some time, running a little safer at this point in the race, just trying to survive. So I'm sure my strategy is a lot different than yours up front. I was trying to stay out of people's way and braking a little earlier than I thought I should. I definitely could have probably pushed for a better position, but I was just trying to survive.
Yeah, I was also just trying to survive. I did not think I had a chance of catching those guys in front, so I was really just concentrated on keeping the position I had and keeping it on track. I saw like Peter McIntyre making a mistake back there, and David Ward comes through, just missing the braking going into that second chicane, like so many others have done. John Cook and Alex Murphy very close together on track, it appears. Yes, there they are. With a little bit of lap traffic in the way as looks like Simon moving out the way nicely.
Yeah, speaking of lap traffic, we are now at the point only the top 12 are on the lead lap. 13th and back are all a lap down or more.
Yeah, up to Carl Hudson there, and even 12th place is within range of that leader, running a 2:05 lap time, and Matt Kunzel at minute 57 down. It's only a matter of time, and I think Lucas will easily lap up into the top 10. As Etheridge getting a pass here on Carl Hudson. That's not for position, that's a lapped car, but Etheridge zooming up on the back of Carl and then making it around him.
It looked like Carl was struggling to find where he was on track there, swerving back and forth, looking for just any clean track.
No worries.
Yeah, sometimes I think some of this swerving may be involuntary. A little bit of wheel spin, car kicks to the left or the right. You're just hanging on. That sound is why I drive the Audi. It just sounds good, man. It just sounds good.
Yeah, sometimes I wish they would, ease up on some of the sim things and let you do some things that other games allow you to do. It'd be nice to just swap the sounds of the cars, and you could drive, a car that maybe you like to drive a little better with the sound of another car. I mean, still sound like the Audi to everyone else, because it would have to, but in your ears, there's no reason you shouldn't be able to listen to the sound of another car.
Yeah, custom sound packs would be nice. Alex Murphy tiptoeing through Ascari there. Blake Toby, sponsored by McDonald's. I enjoy a good large fry every once in a while for a snack, but mostly I try to avoid McDonald's, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, I don't think I've eaten there in a good 10 years, except the occasional hash brown. Hash brown in the morning from McDonald's is about all I can handle. But
yeah,
hey,
that's my go-to. If I have to have a quick breakfast and it ends up being McDonald's, I will literally just buy 2 hash browns, and it is the cheapest, quickest breakfast that you can get, and it's enough for me.
I do the same exact thing. Ooh.
Didn't see who that was, but
I believe that was Mark Kelly.
Mark Kelly again? Oh, man. My little tank slapper caught him and sent him the opposite direction.
But that being said about McDonald's, if they want to sponsor me, I will happily put those golden arches on the car.
there you go, McDonald's. Sponsor Phil. I somehow doubt they're watching.
You never know. You never know. The league's doing pretty good, 35, 36 cars in here. Maybe one of the McDonald's marketing execs loves sim racing. You never know.
That is true. You never know. I saw James get a nice little slide going into turn or second chicane there, and a slide coming out. Charles off, getting back on track safely. Safe rejoin. Charles in 9th place with Claymore about 12 seconds behind.
And fantastic drive by Isaac Mitchell, still holding 6th place and leading the silvers, and Rich Meester's up to 8th, leading the bronze.
Yeah, great drives by those two. Definitely punching above their weight and giving it to some of these gold members. I mean, Rich Meester's here having a fight with Alex Murphy, less than a second between the two of them.
Over to right hand side, Waddy.
Steve Pepper giving a little warning there to David Ward. Didn't quite hear what he said, but sounded like a, hey man, go through this way so that we both survive.
Yeah, a little more communication might have been helpful in these conditions.
Blake Tovey around Carl Hudson, and back up front with Lucas Cipula, 6.7 second lead. Again, just keeping it clean, keeping his car facing the right direction.
Yeah, it's been an impressive drive.
Oh, contact
Ooh.
there. Yeah, that I remember that. Matt couldn't quite see the braking markers, as I was mentioning earlier, just in the spray. And I don't actually believe that there was contact, at least not on my end. But I did have to sort of take avoiding action on the inside. It sent me up on that curb, and when it did, it just spit me out, and I couldn't hang on to it. But I don't believe there was, at least if there was contact, it was very light contact. I mostly saw it coming and moved the car to the inside to get out of the way. I had like a sort of a spidey sense that Matt was a little too close, and I thought, I need to go inside here. As we see you in a John Cook, Alex Murphy, Philip Fox sandwich.
You know, that's not a sandwich I want to eat.
Nope.
I think I would rather go to McDonald's.
Yes. I feel it looks like Lucas is coming up on you here to lap you again, unfortunately.
Yeah. This is actually my first race in the rain in a GT3.
Well, all things considered, position 24th position, not quite in the points. Well, you haven't quit yet, so that's
this is
valuable learning.
A real roller coaster for me. Up into the mid to high teens, back to the mid 20s constantly. I'd make up 10 spots, spin, lose 10 spots, but I tried to hang in there and just learn as much as I could and be ready for the next rain race. And I have done some rain races, mostly in Formula though.
Gotcha. Looks like you had it off there, but that's honestly the best way to go off. If you're gonna go off, is to just straight shot it through turn 1 chicane area and get back on track. Marin here with our bronze leader, only 1 second off of him.
He's actually sandwiched between Isaac Mitchell moved up a spot and took 5th from Marin.
Oh,
Rich has moved up a spot as well to 7th.
So I've gone in the pit. Blake Tovey's also gone in the pit. That's let Ettridge and Sipula back around unless they... No, Ettridge has come back around. Sipula's not pitted yet, I don't believe. Not with the 36-second gap. A lot of Acuras in this championship. I'll be honest with you. That's, I believe, the car with the most usage. I think only 2 Audis, 3 Lambos, very few Mercedes. I don't think I've seen a single Mercedes in this race.
It'll be interesting to see how the field changes after the new tire update comes out after this race.
Yeah, spoiler alert, we already know the answer to this, but we're not going to say anything.
You know, actually, I don't know the answer to this. I missed the next race. I have no idea what happens in Watkins, and I don't know who switched. So it really is interesting to me.
That is true. You do not know. I know who switched and who did not. But I will not give away spoilers here. You'll have to come back for the next round at Watkins Glen. I think Isaac Mitchell might be in trouble of getting promoted to gold class if he keeps up this driving pace.
Yeah, we'll have to see how that how he holds up in the dry. Maybe he's just very good in the rain. You know, never know.
Maybe. Steve Pepper's cool camel McLaren looking a little worse for wear there. A little banged up on the front. Hanging out in 20th place though. Hey, that's still points or point on the board, right?
I believe it is, yes.
John Cook doing well in 9th. It's a good drive for him. Alex Murphy not far behind though. Rich Meester's right there as well. And then a little bit of a gap to Carl Hudson in your top 12. See, there I am with the gold wheels. I think Carl did blue wheels if I'm not mistaken. Just like I said, help with the liveries.
Yeah, I haven't done my wheels yet. I keep meaning to do it, and then, you know, comes to race day and I forget.
What color do you think you're going with?
I might just go black. If Carl has blue, I might have gone light blue for the lighter blue on our livery, but I don't think I want to be blue and confuse people. No, I want people to think I'm Carl.
At the moment, you're the only BMW on the team, though, so you don't necessarily have to change. Same for me. I'm the only Audi. Well, actually, round 1, Danny and Matt were also in the Audi. And so that's why I had done the gold wheels. But now, even before the tire model updates, I'm not giving away spoilers here. Matt had already changed cars from the Audi, and Danny also is getting out of the Audi.
Yeah, and speaking of Danny Chan, not here for this race, out of town, I believe, but I do know he's a fan of rain races. It would have been interesting to see how he would have done in this race.
Yeah, believe it or not, Danny was upset that he missed this rain race. He was telling us afterwards. So I'm sure he'll be interested to watch this and see how it went, and probably speculate to himself how well he could have done.
And we got Timon off there at, is that the second Lesmo?
Looked like it, yeah. As John, Alex, and Rich come through. Running right up on the back of, or no, this is Rich Meesters leading Timon and Phillip and Clayton. Back up front with Lucas. Enjoying a 1.9 second gap, so that gap's come down. It's come down a lot through the pit cycle. Ettridge, I've noticed Ettridge typically has really short pit stops. He's really good at getting in and out of the pits clean and quickly, and probably, I would assume, really good on his fuel usage, not taking so much fuel, keeping the pit stop itself to a minimum. It's something that I always have in the back of my mind when I'm racing him is I've got to try and do something to keep my pit stop time down because I know that Ollie will have a short pit stop.
Yeah, and the Porsche is very good on fuel, but there's no doubt he's doing a bit of fuel saving in these races and doing a good job as well. I don't know what happened here, but we got Rich Meesters just dropped back to 11th. I don't know if that's from he moved up from the pits. He was up there sandwiched with Isaac Marin and himself. Now he has dropped back down to 11th place.
Yeah, I think we just saw everybody run through their pits, so it could have been that. I didn't see any obvious mistakes made or passes happening. Here we've got Lucas coming up on the back of Carl Hudson to lap into the top 12. I think my prediction of lapping into the top 10 is not going to hold here with only 4 minutes, less than 4 minutes of racing to go. I think that might be the last lapped car that we see. But still a good run for Carl. Carl, I know, had at least 2 off-track excursions that ended in the wall, so he's been able to go in and get that damage repaired and stay in the top 12. That's actually really good. Good job for Carl in this race.
And you know, second in silver as well, so get some points and keep him up there in the championship.
Yep, good point there. Sipula opening up that gap as we're seeing Ollie here running about 2.8 seconds back on him. Must have been a small mistake there for Ettridge. Claymore back into 7th. We saw him down in 10th at one point. Possibly could have been a pit cycle, but back up into 7th. A few seconds off of Marin. A couple of seconds ahead of Charles.
And coming up on the end of the race here, we got Sipula, Ettridge, and Tovey, top 3. Martinez in 4th. Isaac Mitchell doing a great job in 5th.
As Claymore goes off again.
Tough.
Lost the rear of that Porsche, sent him around right into the gravel, but he kept it on track, and depending on his gap to John Cook, may only lose 1 position from that.
Yeah, he seems to have had a bit of a tough day, but he's held it together pretty well considering. And, I mean, anywhere in the top 10 would be a fantastic race in these conditions.
Thanks, mate.
Yeah, considering all the times we've seen him spun the wrong way, to stay in the top 10 is good. It means the pace is there. Just needs to, a little bit more cautious maybe on some of these corner entries. It seems is where he's losing it. As this race winds down here, only a minute left to go. Any particular moment stand out to you as your favorite of this race, or any particular storyline we've been following here?
Honestly, it's been Isaac Mitchell's performance. It's been good to see him up there, pushed all the way to the top 5. I don't know if he's good in the rain or, you know, other people struggled. I'm interested to see how he does going into the next race.
That looked like Alex and Claymont getting into it. Possibly a final lap move for a position that did not end well. But John, it ended well for John. He's up 1 position from 9th to 8th. Yeah, I agree with your favorite storyline there with Isaac getting his car into 5th place and keeping it there. And also Rich Meesters, again, shout out for 1st place in bronze, being in the top 10 of the entire field. It's really been, this race has kind of been all over the place. You know, our view of the race has been going up and down the field, and just things have been happening everywhere. It's been a little tough to keep track of, if I'm being completely honest with you. But the guys up front, Lucas just doing his thing, and it looks like he's, barring a final lap incident, looks like he's going to bring this home for the win. And then, good battle for the podium here. Ettridge, Tovey, myself, couple of position changes, and then Blake Tovey getting up there and getting himself on the final step of the podium. So yeah, good drive from Blake, keeping it together in that McDonald's car. And then, other battles in the field. I've seen Alex Murphy have quite a few battles. He's done a good job. Carl Hudson sort of just quietly coming home 12th place. That's a good storyline there. Claymont, we saw him up and down the field. 7th, back to 10th, back up to 7th, and now I see him in 18th. So that incident with Alex did not pay off.
No, it didn't. And yeah, just speaking on a lot of stuff and hard to keep up with in this race. I know at this point I had retired from the race. I hit my I got into a wreck, I believe, in the last turn, and put me over my incident limit with like 4 minutes left in the race. So I just retired. I wasn't gonna pull back out for 30 seconds, but I'm sure a lot of interesting stuff happened that we just were not able to catch in these conditions.
Well, speaking of interesting, that was our leader and our 2nd place coming over the line there, very close to each other, 7/10 gap as they cross the finish line. So good job for Lucas Cipula bringing home the win there, followed by Ollie Ettridge, and Blake Tovey has crossed the line in 3rd. So that is your podium. Myself, I really backed off in the last several laps of this race, and I knew I was not going to go forward and catch Blake, so I backed right off, and I knew I had a gap behind me, so they're showing me coming home in 4th place, 47 seconds off the lead. And we should see, here's Isaac Mitchell, no problema. I absolutely love the llama puns from Clayton and Isaac and Blake and David Ward and those guys. I know I'm forgetting names here. Zach, I think John as well. So there's Isaac bringing home the win for the silver class. Somebody pulled over there, maybe out of fuel. Who was that? Charles?
That was Charles, yes. Charles ran out of fuel.
I raced this race. I raced this race in the voice chat with Charles, and I don't remember that.
I did not remember until you just said someone might have run out of fuel, and then I remembered Charles did run out right at the end. But that moved Rich Meesters up to 8th place. Great job by him.
Yep. Here comes Rich across the line in 8th place. For 1st place for bronze, 8th place overall. Yeah, looks like we're all finished up. Just waiting on Charles to get some fuel in his car. But to go through the finishing order here, we've got Lucas Cipula getting his win, and of course it's, as I say that, it goes away. That is our third different winner this season, though. We as I won the race at Imola with a great battle with Marin that ended in not the best way, but no hard feelings there from either of us, but I won that race. Marin takes the win, I believe, in Spa, and now Lucas with the third victory. And that brings us to our championship standings. Lucas Cipula 136, so he has extended his points advantage over myself on 104 points. Then we've got Ali Ettridge, Marin Hoogovan, Alex Murphy, Carl Hudson for silver, Blake Tovey, Clayton McBuller, Stephen Hurd, Rude, Zach, Charles, Isaac, Rob, Timon, Danny Chan after missing this round, still in there on 18 points, Matt Hansel, John, Rich Meester, Stephen Maxwell, David Ward, Mark Kelly, James, Peter, Sam, Chris, Zhao Tome, Philip Fox, yourself on 6 points, Tur, Chris, Claymont, Daniel, James, Simon, Steve, and Lawrence Aaron Jenkins. Unfortunately on 0 points. We need to get Lauren racing and get him some points in there.
Well, it was an interesting race, interesting conditions. All right, we got the championship standings for silver. Carl Hudson, 69 points. Timon Slutz in second with 49 points. Mark Kelly, 33 points. Isaac Mitchell, 32 points. Danny Chan holding up 5th place with 30 points. Followed by Philip Fox with 28. Daniel Bond with 18. Zhao Tome with 15. Russell J. Bright with 10.
I saw Isaac moved up 6 positions in the standings with that victory, so good job for him. Rich Meester's here moving up 3 to take over the lead on 51 points, followed by Peter, Sam, Steve, and Chris, your top 5 in bronze. Chris Forrester also up 4 positions, and James Pepper up 3 positions. So a lot of shuffling from this race in both the silver and the bronze class.
Still early in the season as well, so this is looking like it's going to be some good battles.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. And I'll tell you another thing I'm looking forward to is this. The next round at Watkins Glen, one of my favorite tracks on the entire service.